chimpanzees and bonobos, there's totally a right-left divide between chimpanzees and bonobos, right? Like bonobos are a much less hierarchical species. They're much less aggressive. They're much less territorial. They don't kill their neighbors. Chimpanzees have these like really brutal behaviors involving territorial aggression where they like, I mean, it's pretty haunting if you watch a video of it or even just like read Jane Goodall's scientific descriptions of it or whatever, like they get in single file lines and they like sneak deep into neighboring territories. And then if they find an isolated individual, they will kill them a lot of the time, and like bonobos don't do that. Bonobos sometimes have sex with their neighbors. It's just like these two very different, much less formal.
Okay, that gets me in trouble. I'm joking. Sorry.
I mean, but like really, like if we had to imagine, I mean, just imagining a world where it's either bonobos or chimpanzees that evolved kind of like our cognitive technological abilities, I can imagine the world surviving and like viable forms of societies emerging out of bonobo biology. And I think chimpanzees would have already pressed the nuclear button, like I think that they're more aggressive than humans and they just wouldn't stand a chance. And the differences in brain structure between chimpanzees and bonobos are differences in the amygdala. It's like the same differences that characterize the right-left political divide. And so, yeah, I mean, my theoretical work, the paper that I wrote that someday I might actually submit to a journal, and what I devoted the first 3 episodes of the podcast to were essentially like comparing these two domains of scientific literature, all of this amazing work, these like rapidly accumulating work results on the differences that map out to differences in political orientation on the one hand, and then just all this other amazing stuff that's happening right now in the biology of aggression, which is also the biology of development, and like what made our species, what made domestic animals, why chimpanzees and bonobos are different, why dogs and bonobos can understand social inferences that chimpanzees and wolves can't, just like the essence of humanness, all this really interesting stuff, but like basically pointing out that the trait variations that are described as being related to aggression in other species are awfully, awfully similar to the trait variations that are described as correlated with differences in political outlook in humans.